like pricing options on chain is very complicated. It's not something that like I mentioned at the beginning. Like yes, there is the Black-Scholes formula to price options, but the real way to like the real like what it comes down to price options, it does come from volume. So you need bids and asks, and you need also market makers basically to arbitrage, not only arbitrage, but squeeze squeeze the differential between both, right? Both bids and asks. So by squeezing that, you can actually have a decent option price. And when you have a decent option price on the market, then basically you can back out the implied volatility from that market and get an actual fair price for both sides, right? Because you can do price discovery on chain, right? But the price
Hmm.
discovery on chain that you're doing is basically based off low volumes, and it's based off low liquidity, right? So
Right.
when you base off that through from that, you basically create a unstable and I would say also unfair market, because like either side could be overpaying for an option, or underselling the option, right? And when you basically do that, is there's one side profiting, and for somebody that doesn't understand options, it becomes unfair for them to trade over there, because somebody's gonna take advantage of the best, the better I would say position, right?
Right.
And yeah, I think the low liquidity also affects basically the movement, like basically the slippage that you also get from buying big portions, right? On Dopex, the way we price our options, basically we derive these 90% of the volume of options happen on Deribit. So it just makes sense for us to actually price the options off something that has the only correct, I would say, option pricing, because that's where there's actually people betting for that price, right? Like there's actually people saying it is worth this, right? So yeah, we basically back off the implied volatility added to the Black-Scholes formula, so we do have a very similar pricing to Deribit. And and I think that's the way to go, to basically figure out where's the New York. You can think of it as the New York basically exchange, right? The NYSE or something they call it
Yeah.
at New York, right?
Hmm.
Like every market, if you go on Robinhood, where do you think they price their options, and where do you think they price their assets also? Like the NYSE, basically they're the one that controls. They have the market makers, and they're the ones that control actually the pricing happening on these markets, right? So a lot of like other like Robinhood and all these other platforms, they derive all their pricing from this place, which actually have market makers that set maximums and minimums. That when let's say when GME GMA what was the name, the GMC, I think, what was it, but I mean
Which one?
when they stop trading, when they stop
Oh,
trading
yeah, yeah,
AMC or
yeah.
whatever.
GameStop.
Yeah,
I'm forgetting
GameStop.
the ticker. GMX.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's GMX,
I think
but
it is. Yeah, I forgot, but GameStop. Yeah.
yeah, GameStop, exactly. So they were the one that stopped the trading, and why is that? Because when there's like missing liquidity, when there's missing that those bids and asks, what happens is that the market makers take over. They have to decide: is this getting out of hand? Is the price, maybe now it's just a pump, but it doesn't reflect the actual value of what's happening on the actual the how to say that, the actual asset, right? And they stop it because the reason why they stop is because it gets out of hand, and the users that actually don't know what they're doing are the ones that are going to get hurt at the end, right? So like yes, like there is free will and everything, but sometimes like uh I think like I'm not saying like like in DeFi it's not like that, right? It doesn't. I'm just saying that at the end of the line, it's important to have the fair pricing, and for both the seller and the buyer, and for it to be derived from somewhere that actually has volume, right?
Right, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I guess like the overall thing is that what we're seeing is that the market just needs more volume, liquidity before we see more development and before the larger institutions will feel comfortable even using uh, these products.
Yeah, I think like it doesn't mean that we can't beat the market. Like maybe Dopa is gonna be the future NYSE, right?
Hmm.
Uh like we just have to see the transition from, okay, the volume is happening on Deribit. When it happens, this volume, we equalize it on Dopex, then basically we can basically make our own pricing, right? Because our own pricing makes sense because we're the main driver of volume, right? Compared to all the other spaces, the other markets, for example. So it is a misconception. I find that a lot of users and a lot of even investors, like, they don't understand this. But yeah, like, you can't just create a market of, you can't create a market, but it's mostly going to be mispriced, and that's all I'm saying.
Okay, that makes sense. So what would be so just to kind of like close this off, right?